Hello everybody,
Hello,
my name is Darren,
and I'm Graham.
and we're about to talk about the film Up by Pixar. Do you remember the plot? When did you last see Up?
It's a long time ago, to be honest.
Hmm?
You're going to have to fill in a few blanks for me.
Do you not remember the plot?
Yes, so if I'm going to go over the plot, I would begin with the fact that a guy has had a lifelong wish of going to a certain place, and he decides to go there because of a certain event in his life.
You can say, can't you? It happens in the first minute.
Yeah, I suppose. Well, he's what? Well, I guess I don't really need to. I've already avoided it.
Okay, that's true. I might bring it up in a minute.
And yeah, that's pretty much it. He goes to something falls.
Oh, I don't remember. It's called South America, isn't it?
Right, and that's it. Yeah, he wants to go there, and he goes there. So he goes.
Yeah, I mean, he takes a young boy with him, and he ends up in some weird fight for the life of a rare bird with Christopher Plummer.
Oh yeah, all
There is
that
that.
as well. Yeah.
Hmm. So yes, did you like it?
I think it was one of the weaker of the
Oh, really?
of one of the weaker of the Pixar films.
That's
but
interesting.
I thought
Weaker than I've not seen these two, but weaker than Brave and Cars, which I hear are the weakest ones.
Cars has a thinner story, but it's less kind of ridiculous, if you like. Ridiculous is kind of a strong word, I suppose, considering it's
Yeah.
a Pixar film. But
Oh well, I have an interpretation of Up that might make it suddenly more believable for you.
okay, well you can share that towards the end of the video, I guess. But
Make a note.
just to round off the video. But yeah, it's fun and stuff. It's just I don't think it's as good as I think it's probably on par. No, I still think Brave's better because
Nobody seemed to like Brave.
I think they're wrong.
Well,
Like
you're allowed to think
it's not their best. Obviously they've got
Toy Story's their best.
Yeah,
That's unquestionably true.
and then you got like Wall-E and Finding Nemo and stuff, and they're just
Well, I mean,
phenomenal.
obviously,
Like
Toy Story's best is Toy Story. And
yeah,
their second best is probably Toy Story 2.
yeah,
And then probably their third best is, I'd say, Toy Story 3.
yeah, probably. Yeah.
And then I'd watch Toy Story again.
Yeah.
Then Monsters
So
Inc.
Toy Story makes it on to number 4
Yeah, I
as
don't,
well as one.
Yeah, they're making Toy Story 4, aren't they? Don't want that. But
yeah, I'm not interested.
yeah, it ended pretty well with Toy Story 3.
Like they're making a Frozen 2. It's like just because you've seen success,
Yeah.
don't just follow it up. Like you don't have to.
Yeah, I mean, Toy Story 4 could be really good because they've all been masterpieces so far.
Mhm.
But even if it is a masterpiece, I liked how the third one rounded everything off and ended
Mhm.
it. So I don't know how they can make that better.
It's a contained thing. Like you don't need
A
to.
nice trilogy. Anyway, Up. Yes, I'm going to tell you what I thought anyway.
Okay, go on.
I think that you could read this film. You know how, like... Oh, can I just say what happens at the beginning? His wife dies. It's in, like, the first 2 minutes. And everyone knows. I knew. Did you cry when his wife died?
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't. I wanted to. But I think I knew that it was going to happen, so I was sort of prepared.
Right. It's been out for a very long time now.
Yeah, and everyone said, oh, the first 10 minutes will make you cry.
Yeah.
And I was fully, like, open to that. It just didn't. But maybe
So
had I
were
not
you
known...
upset by it? Like you were still affected by it. You just didn't cry.
Yeah, I thought it was sad. There was a
Yeah.
bit, there was a couple bits near the end that I thought were more upsetting than, well, not upsetting, but more emotional than the beginning.
Mm.
But that's probably because I knew about the beginning and I didn't know the bits at the end.
Yeah.
I won't ruin them. But it's like stuff between the old man and the young boy.
That's a good little technique, actually, isn't it? If you want to kind of have people keep stum on the ending,
Yeah.
you make the beginning like really,
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
really dramatic and powerful.
Yeah, I mean, it was good. And I reckon they'll one day, when they run out of ideas like they tend to with Monsters University and stuff like that and Toy Story 4, I reckon they'll do a prequel to Up about him and her as kids
Yeah,
going on adventures and whatnot. But I think it's so crazy. Like, you know, like a man who attaches balloons to his house and flies off to the Amazon or wherever to chase down a bird with Christopher Plummer. It doesn't smack as true to me. And I think that there's a good chance that, in actual fact, that it's all taking place in the old man's head as he lies at the bottom of the stairs. And he's sort of... Because if you look at it, it's all a bit too subconscious. You know, like the young boys there who he saw that day, and they go to South America where he'd always wanted to go with his wife. And it's like all the elements that have been in the first 5 minutes of the film suddenly become the next, hour and 25 minutes of it.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't really seem too believable as real. So I just think we're watching an old man sort of fever dream his way into the afterlife. That's what I think, anyway.
Yeah. Why at the bottom of the stairs?
That's just where all people always die, isn't it?
Oh, Christ.
It's just typical. They just fall down and they can't get up again.
Oh, just typical.
Yeah. If an old person's going to die in their own house, it's at the bottom of the stairs.
Right.
It's a bit too tragic if it's anywhere else. Like if they just sat in a chair and they just die and stay sitting there. At least if they fall down the stairs, you know, they've fallen down the stairs. Like, it's not like they've just given up.
Yeah.
Or maybe they throw themselves down. I assume they've fallen down.
You've been lied to all along.
Yeah. But so yeah, I think it's, and I think doesn't the end involve him? I know he has, and that's the other thing is that him and the woman always wanted a kid, and suddenly he's got a kid. You know, like I know it's not actually biologically his, but it's him. You know, he's so, and it happens to be the one that he just happened to see that day, and he told that kid to go and look for the bird, and by sheer coincidence, they end up on an adventure where they're looking for a bird. I just think it could all have been in his head as he's sort of lying there, with, you know, dribble coming out of his mouth, and like, even if you had enough balloons, not to deconstruct it too much, I know it's a kid's film, but like if you had enough balloons to lift a house, the house couldn't support its own weight. The bricks would. I mean, what has he cemented those bricks with? Like angel sweat and unicorn blood. Like, how is that not just crumbling?
Yeah.
So I just think, yeah, like I say.
But I mean, like the dogs can talk and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
So why can't the house keep itself?
Well, it can if it's in his head.
But if yeah, okay.
And the dogs can talk if they're in his head. I did like the dog.
Doug.
Was that his name?
Yeah.
He was voiced by one of the directors.
Didn't you? You didn't catch any of the names, right?
Sometimes I don't.
Yeah. You're listening to podcasts while you watch it.
No, I was watching the film. But I don't know. I like Christopher. I didn't know Christopher Plummer was in it, so that was a nice surprise.
No, I don't know. I haven't seen it since finding out.
What? Since I told you a minute ago.
So yeah. Well, yeah.
You didn't know when you found out a minute ago, and you haven't seen it since you found out.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
isn't that weird?
I thought you'd watched it since you found out.
No, not yet.
Yeah, it was really good though. I thought it was really good. I didn't think it was bad. I thought it was better than Monsters University.
Do you think it's a kid's version of Gran Torino?
Why was the old man a massive racist as well? Did I not pick up on that?
Well,
were those balloons like representative of Japanese people as he was like popping them?
Yeah.
I don't know. Why is it about Gran Torino? Because it's about a man going out on a
like befriending a child.
I don't think. Would you describe Gran Torino as about an old man who makes a young friend?
Yeah.
Would you?
It's kind of what happens, isn't it?
I guess so. I just thought. I would say that it's more Dirty Harry in retirement than an old man makes a young friend. You make it sound a lot more sentimental.
Yeah.
Do I think it? I think it was a bit Wizard of Oz in that the house gets picked up by a sort of wind,
sort of wind,
and dropped off in a fantastical place.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say. I mean, I'm not. You know, you're not wrong to say Gran Torino, but I wouldn't say Gran Torino.
I just thought of it then, to be honest.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Wizard of Oz is interesting though.
Yes. Well, I mean, it's not a million miles.
No.
No. And then maybe like some of those like Skull Island, King Kong trait movies, you know, where he gets put in a mysterious land and there's creatures there that, you know, talking dogs and crazy birds that don't make too much. They're not too realistic.
Yeah.
They're quite fantastical. I read that the original plot was about people from the clouds having fights with people on the ground, and somebody from the Cloudland falls onto the ground and finds a magical bird, which is pretty much the plot of Zelda, the Skyfall one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or not Skyfall, Skyloft. What's it called?
Skyfall. Nope.
No, it's not Skyfall.
Skyward Sword.
Skyward Sword, yeah,
What's
yeah.
wrong with us?
As if they do a Zelda Skyfall crossover, that'd be amazing.
You imagine.
Link falls off a cloud because some woman shoots him at the beginning.
Yeah. The Master Walter Begbie.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
The Wii's just come on, was that because I kept saying Zelda over and over again?
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, Up was really good.
Yeah.
Is there anything else to say about it that you can think of? All I've said is that it's about an old man dying.
Yeah, pretty much. No, I like that theory. It does make sense because the world is pretty much normal before all that happens, isn't it?
Yeah. And like I say, everything that's set up at the beginning is what
it's stretched
kind of
out.
happens
Yeah.
over the next hour or so.
The fact that they wanted a kid.
And he gets a kid.
And with that kid fulfills the dream that she had. It kind of shows them too as a singularity.
And he imagined the kid that he had already seen. And like I say, they're chasing a bird, which he told the kid to go off and do. Go and chase that bird in the garden.
Yeah.
It's all too convenient to be real.
Yeah.
It's about an old man as he slowly drifts into the afterlife. Probably at the bottom of the stairs.
Probably.
Because it's just too tragic to imagine him in a chair.
Bloody hell.
I did hear a story, this has nothing to do with it, about someone that had died, some old person. And their family kept visiting her, and then they realised she was dead because the cups of tea they built up over time. You think, well, how stupid are you?
Yeah.
How do you not know somebody's died?
And take away the old cup of tea.
I know, yeah.
It's just unhygienic.
Drink it, if anything. That bitch doesn't want it. I'll drink it. I'd get annoyed. I'd leave shouting like, "It's gone cold now. I'll throw it in her face."
Oh my god.
Yeah. And then maybe that's the truth. They just noticed she was still doused in tea several weeks later. She had maggots in her eyes.
Oh my god.
Anyway.
So how would you improve? One last question. How would you improve?
Up.
Yeah. The story.
I'd
the
make
characters?
it Toy Story instead.
Oh right. Okay. There you go. Then.
I would change the plot to about toys that come alive when you're out the room. I don't know why I like Toy Story so much. Probably because I was so young. But then I just think there's so many things that I wouldn't want my toys to have seen happen in my room that have happened.
Yeah. And here's me touching your dog.
Yeah. Like if Toy Story was based on my life, it would be a very different film.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be quite so innocent. They'd come alive and they'd just start shaking.
They'd all want to stay quiet. Like.
Yeah. They wouldn't come alive. They'd just pretend they're real toys.
Yeah. They'd lie to each other. I'm a victim.
Yeah. How would I improve Up? Maybe I would make the ending a bit more ambiguous to his death. So I would have him maybe like literally float back up with the balloon house, and then we never see where he goes.
Oh, okay, that's a nice idea.
I'd like to see another film.
Goes off to his next adventure.
Yeah. I'd like to see another film from if we were to assume this is all real, from the kid's mum's point of view, or stepmom, whatever she is.
Yeah.
Where she's frantic and she's going mad because her kid has been taken away by an old man.
Yeah.
Taken on holiday without her consent.
Well, that plays into the whole "it's a dream" thing, doesn't it? Because like the kid just wouldn't have been able to go away for that.
And when they go back, if they go back, spoiler alert, the stepmom's like, "Hello," like waving, not like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
Show me on the doll where he's told you. Show me on Woody.
Yeah, that'd be his little cameo.
Yeah, you do the little drawstring.
Yeah.
There's a bruise on my arse.
In my arm. Just as another side note, this is dragging on now, but you discredit people's enjoyment of films, sort of, for things that they're nostalgic for. So old classics from the 80s and stuff.
No, I don't discredit them.
Not discredit them or stuff.
Anyone
but
can enjoy anything for any reason.
I know, but
what are you saying? What have I said?
I can't. Things like Blues Brothers and
Oh, no, I haven't seen Blues Brothers.
No,
I just get annoyed that everyone
Ghostbusters
says.
and stuff like that.
Ghostbusters is good.
Things of that era, and they really enjoy it. They hold it on such a high kind of.
Yeah.
But like you were referring to Toy Story, you say maybe it's because I liked it so much as a kid. Is why I like it so much.
I've not discredited that because I wrote a blog. You should read it on Men in Black, where I was just taking the piss out of people that are so protective of Ghostbusters because that's how old that was from when they were a kid. Whereas I feel that way about Men in Black. I was saying Men in Black's better whilst making the joke. Well, like I was slagging them off for holding Ghostbusters whilst pretending to be oblivious to the fact that that's what I'm doing about Men in Black.
Yeah.
So no, I don't mind that.
Okay.
But I do think Toy Story is the best.
Right. Okay.
Not in a, if I was to take myself out of my body with my likes and dislikes and just look at it as a film, then the Toy Story is by far the best.
Right. Okay. It's good to know. And there we have it.
Yeah.
So we'll say goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.